I want to take a few minutes and go over some what I consider bad examples of people who did not use the above the fold methodology like I was referring to. And many times it's just because candidates are professional at what they do. They're not professional resume writers. And I get that. At the same time, you've got to have the knowledge that's going to be able to take you to the next level. So I've included a couple examples. I removed the names and their contact information. But here's a great example of something that is not easy on the eyes. This is very scattered. It's hard to follow. There's busyness. Things are moving around everywhere. And so whether you like it or not, a candidate is judged by their resume. You know, the old saying is you can't judge a book by its cover. Well, every day people judge candidates by the resume. And so without even calling this candidate, my first impression is here's somebody that's kind of scattered, might not have very well not be able to communicate very well or have very good written communication skills just as the first outset. And so I might be on the fence actually as to whether I would call this candidate or not. Here's example number 2. This is really bare. See how there's way too much white space over in the top right hand corner. It's not centered right. It almost looks like a cover letter in a way. It's just not very effective in its presentation. And so here I see somebody who would not be able to carry very long conversations on because they just are not really giving me much information. Their summary is almost like an objective statement kind of mixed in. It's just not very professional in my opinion. And so this is another classic resume that I would probably delete in the matter of seconds. And then the third example I have for you, while this one's better than the other two, it is still lacking some real firepower. I mean, basically at the top I've got a community college that I've looked at, and you have right here just not a lot of detail. It's just kind of all thrown in there a little bit, and there's not very much written communication skills going on here. And so when companies put down that they are looking for people who are solid with oral and written communication skills, that's what I'm talking about. They're judging that off the resume. When they get the resume, if they're not genuinely impressed, if they don't feel like it's been a professional presentation, it's not going to compel them to pick up the phone and give you a call. Also, there's just no summary of qualifications up here, nothing going on. It just goes from the name right into the education. Now, I'm not a big fan of the objective statements, but what I would do is, again, I'm going to show you in the next video, is have a summary of qualifications. And you can do certain things that will really target yourself to a particular job description. So those are a couple examples for you. Again, I'm going to get into this in the next video, but this is what I would say is ideal. This is a good example of someone who's using above the fold very effective, and it compels you. You think professional, you think organized, you think someone who's going places. I can quickly see a lot of what this person's about right here, and so I'm going to get into that in more depth because I want to dedicate a whole video to that, but I wanted to show you some examples. Again, remember, scattered kind of everywhere, too much white space, not very thorough, and this one lacks focus. I'm not really sure what they're trying to accomplish. So you really got to work on this thing. It's not just write the resume once and you're done. You have got to make your resume a marketing piece and be working on it. So go to the next video and I'll really dig into what I think is an ideal above the fold resume.